Hello,
Hello, everyone. I'm Jen,
and I'm Kimberly,
and
and
this
this is
is
That Vegan Morning
Vegan
Show.
Morning Show. This is show number 5, right?
5, yes,
Wow,
crazy.
it is crazy. We were just thinking this up maybe barely a year ago, and now here we
hmm
are into show number 5.
Yeah, I know. It's so exciting, and I'm really so glad that we do this, even though it's so early.
Right? I have to say, even though, yeah, it's so early, I'm like excited to do it. So I feel like it's, you're doing the right thing when you feel like you don't care how tired you are. You just want to show up and
hmm
do it anyway.
That's the truth.
How was your weekend, Kimberly?
My weekend was good. Good morning, Richard. Thanks for
Good morning,
being
Richard.
here. Yeah. Yeah. So if you guys are watching, let us know say good morning, say hello, chime in at any point during the chat today. We'd love to hear from you. My weekend was kind of just a lot of time spent at home, kind of puttering around.
Hmm.
Um, and I also spent a lot of time yesterday. JP and I watched the Masters. So apologies to anybody who's on my mailing list because you've already heard this or read this if you read the email. But we spent hours watching golf yesterday, and we love that sometimes. Hey Dominic, welcome. Thanks for being
Dominic.
here.
Thank you.
We
Nice.
I want to learn how to play golf. JP's played golf since he was like a teenager. He played it in high school. Like he's pretty good. He
Hmm.
actually went golfing with his brother and his brother-in-law last year, I think. And it had been like 10 years since he'd played, and he beat them both.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Okay.
It's pretty impressive how talented he is. Just like he just does things and he's just like good at it from the start. But I want him to teach me golf because I think it'd be fun. It's, like, quiet. So here's why I think I wanna do it, because you're outside,
Hmm.
and you do it with your friends, and it's quiet. All it's really just, like, the birds, like, you're not outside of yelling "4" if you've, like, sliced the wrong way or something, um, you don't yell. It's just like a I know that there's, like, drinking and stuff that some of the, like, corporate guys do when they're, like, entertaining clients or whatever, but,
Yeah.
but it just seems like a really fun way to be outside doing something with people whose company you enjoy. So I don't know. If people have suggestions on vegan golf equipment, please let me know. I'm also lefty, so that's like there's less just like with like playing guitar. JP tried to teach me to play guitar and he had to buy me like a special left-handed guitar because there's much less of those out on the market. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent, but yeah. So we spent a couple of hours watching the Masters, which was cool because the guy who won had tried to win the Masters and get like the grand slam of having won all 4, and he finally did it yesterday. So it was pretty
Oh,
neat to
wow.
watch. Yeah. How was your weekend? What'd you do?
Nice. Well, that first of all, it's interesting. I played real golf once when I was like going to Myrtle Beach with my parents as a kid, and me and my mom, my dad, but usually we play mini golf. But I think that was the only time I was ever on a golf course, and I thought it was boring. But then I was like 10, I think.
Right.
So I like the way you put it as just hanging out with your friends, being in nature. I feel like that's a
Mhm.
different perspective on that. So maybe I'd be willing to
Yeah.
try that again sometime.
Yeah. We'll do it together.
That sounds good. We'll get the husbands together and we'll go
Yeah.
golfing. Yeah, my weekend was good. It was Passover, so we went to a community Seder in Beacon, New York. We've been here in this area for like almost 2 years, and we're like, we got to start like doing more to like meet more people in the area. And we had a really nice time, connected with
Nice.
some people, hopefully some new friendships. But yeah, it was really nice. And then yesterday I went to the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. It's Alex and Allison Gray. They are artists, and it's really amazing. I too much to go into now, but check out the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. Google it. But they have this event called Art Church, which really isn't a church. It's like meditation and creating art. And so had a lovely time doing that. And then me and Ellie
Mm.
did our own little Seder at home, and yeah, it was a pretty good weekend.
Nice. It sounds like it. And I gotta say, I wish I lived closer so that we could go to the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors together and do all that fun stuff. Um, it sounds like a really amazing place.
It really is. They have art classes there, and they also have a full moon event as well on
Mm.
Saturday evenings. With the Saturday that's closest to the full moon, it's usually like in the
Mhm.
middle of the month. So if you ever want to come for a full moon event,
Yes.
it's it's an experience. It's really really cool.
Awesome. Well, I think that Richard has some advice on playing golf. I think he says, don't do it.
What about mini golf?
Yeah, maybe Richard, do you prefer mini golf? Let us know.
Oh, good time. So, Kimberly, we have a fun topic to talk about today.
We do. We do. Um, I'm so excited because we've got, oh, with the background, you're not gonna be able to see. Oh, wait. Nope. We're both disappearing now. Anyway, okay. Richard says, sure. Mini golf is okay.
Okay, good.
But anyway, this is the latest issue of VegNews. And within it is their Veggie Awards. Did you vote in the Veggie Awards, Jen?
I didn't. I should have been keeping track of these things, and I get emails for stuff, and sometimes I don't. Like, I get a lot of marketing emails, so sometimes
Yeah.
I don't click on it all. But I wish I did. Did
Yeah.
you?
I did. Yeah. I
Oh,
remember
cool.
I saw it pop up in my email and I was like, just do it now before I forgot because I wanted to be part of it. And I was, and I'm pretty pleased with most of the winners. And I was looking through again this morning and I'm like, "Oh, I like use a lot of these products too." And so that
Mhm.
was really exciting. Um, was there one that stood out to you?
There's it's interesting. There are a lot of products that I use. Some of them that I prefer, like second place winners, or maybe I haven't tried everything, so I only just pick what like and know. But a
Hmm.
couple of things did stand out in that where I live, they have these events. And whenever I go to the events for my apartment complex, the person who's in charge of that, she always makes sure there's special vegan things for me, and she'll like sometimes call me up. She's so sweet. And what she does, she's gotten me a couple products that I've never tried before that were vegan.
Nice.
So they had a pub night last week, and she got me this chicken. And is it, what's the brand now? Is it the Daring? Is that it? I have it written down in my notes. Um, it tasted insanely almost like real chicken.
Yeah.
But it was really good. And I have a couple of times I almost like freaked out because it was but it was really, really good. But I agreed. Well, so I like that. I saw that. And then the Light Life Bacon, which was one of the things that they mentioned. I think that was the first place winner in vegan
Mhm.
bacon. They had a pizza event in my apartment complex a few weeks ago, and she made me vegan, and I can't eat tomatoes either. I have a tomato sensitivity, so she made me vegan pizza bagels. Well, and which was so sweet of her. And she
Mhm.
made different kinds, and one of them she bought the Light Life bacon and put it on the pizza bagels for me, and it was really good. So I kind of went
Wow.
on a tangent here, but it was like a couple of things that I didn't try that I saw
Mhm.
listed on there. And the reason why I tried them is a kind non-vegan person I'm connected with got them for me to include me in events. So I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, that's amazing. How lovely is it when people in our lives, family, friends, people we're in community with, they do take that extra step and they make sure that the event is inclusive and we're all able to just enjoy things together and we don't have to focus on the food because there's something for every one of us. We just get to
Yeah.
enjoy each other's company.
Exactly, exactly, and it just means a lot to me that she takes those extra steps, because I don't expect people to go out of their way, and she
Mhm.
does go out of her way because she wants to have me feel included, so I just
Yeah.
wanted to share that.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you for sharing that. I agree with the editor's vote for the chicken. since you mentioned the chicken options, and Daring did win second place. Who
Yeah,
won first place was Gardein, and I do enjoy Gardein.
me
They
too.
have a turkey, like a crispy turkey roll that we
Mm.
eat very often on Thanksgiving. It's like stuffed with like grains and cranberries, but the crispiness on the outside is like super good,
Mhm.
and the taste and the texture is really nice. Uh, and I know that the ultimate Gardines are really popular amongst a lot of people. They give me terrible heartburn,
Oh,
but
really?
Tyndall, which is the editor's vote, I first had a Tyndall chicken um, patty, I guess, at Cultivate in Rahway, New Jersey. And
Mhm.
I was blown away by
Really?
the texture, by the flavor. It was so it's the best vegan chicken that I've
Mm.
ever had. And I was really glad to see that they got at least a nod. Because they are so good. Gardein, of course, is available in grocery stores, and Tyndall is not. So they have a
Mm.
larger reach. It makes sense that they would have gotten more votes, but glad to see them recognized.
Definitely. Yeah, Guardian is really, really good. I also like their fish, which I know remember also had a nod when I was
Mhm.
reading through the article. I think it was like one of the was that the number one in the seafood? I don't have the physical copy of the magazine, so I
Mhm.
read through everything online and made some notes. But yeah, Guardian has definitely they've been around now for a while and they definitely have a lot of great products. I think they help especially whether you're transitioning into the vegan lifestyle or you're someone who's just wants to have these tasty things. You
Mhm.
don't have to miss out. It just goes to show you don't need to have animal products to still enjoy the same flavors and textures that you grew up having.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like Richard says Gardein chicken and their turkey is popular in this house. That's
Awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, and I've had the impossible. I think it was Impossible or Beyond. It may have been Beyond. Also, a family gathering and a family member being inclusive purchased
Mhm.
that for me because there was chicken being served. And it was really, really good. Like it
Nice.
was like I think anything with a breaded coating on it
Yeah.
is already good in my book. But
Yeah. Agreed.
what about some other things that stood out to you?
Yeah, so best artisanal cheese, Rebel Cheese won, and I am dying to try this cheese.
Me
I
too.
know that I can get it from a place in Morristown, New Jersey called Feasty Vegan, where I don't need to I don't even know if you can order it online. I somehow have never been on the Rebel Cheese website. Don't tell anybody I just said that. But, but I'm so excited to try it because there have been so many people who just love it. Hey, Lindsay, thanks for being here.
Lindsay,
Welcome.
welcome.
Let us know if you've got any favorite vegan products or products that you'd like to know about vegan options. Just let us know what you think. And then I got to lift my glasses up. So Miyokos won second place and Kite Hill won third. I love Kite Hill products. Their sour cream
Mm.
is really good. And I love like kind of putting that into chili and things like that. But I was really glad to see that Rebel Cheese won, even though I've never tried it. I haven't tried it yet. A lot of people really love it, and that was really exciting for me to see. What about
I,
you?
I,
What do you
I
think?
so I have not tried any vegan artisanal cheeses other than the closest thing, which wasn't mentioned, is a tree line cheese. Have you tried
I
them? They have like
love tree line cheese.
so they have these amazing cheese spreads that
Mhm.
when I've gone to friends' houses, I've brought like crackers and veggies and like tree line cheese. And so it wasn't listed there. So just I thought about that because that's the only one I've tried. Rebel cheese, I so badly want to try. I they have it at the Beacon Cheese Shop, which is a regular cheese shop, but they have a shelf with like I think like 5 different varieties of Rebel
Nice.
cheese. I was there last weekend with a friend, and I was so tempted to just buy it, but it's just me and my husband. We're not going to go through all this cheese.
Right. Yeah. You need some company.
Right. I'm waiting for like a gathering type situation where then I can buy it. Otherwise, I'm going to
Mhm.
eat all of it. And I remember it was a Shark Tank product, and I saw the episode of Shark Tank that it was on. And I remember Mr. Wonderful was like raving about the brie. So I hear amazing things about the brie.
Mhm.
So yeah, and then BioLife for like the regular cheeses. That's the one I buy the most. I love their mozzarella. It tastes very close to like real mozzarella.
Yeah. My favorite at the store is Chow, which I saw that they won for best mac and cheese. And if you
Mm.
mac and cheese, that's weird how I put the accent there. Um, but if
It's
you
early.
are
It's okay. You can have weird accents at this hour.
if you have the chance to get the Chow mac and cheese because it's in the freezer,
Ooh.
it is incredible. It's really small, like the serving is super small, and it's like $7 here anyway. But it's so good. But I want to go back first to Treeline, and I'm so glad that you mentioned them because not only is Treeline cheese so good. I have it and I have the herb spread and the onions, the sour cream and onion dip
Mm,
by
mm,
them. But so not only are their cheeses incredible, Michael, the CEO, is so committed to the vegan movement and to making sure that the cheeses, first of all, his cheeses don't have any of those weird like ingredients that you can't pronounce and like all those chemicals and stuff. They're cashew
mhm.
based. And I had the opportunity to talk to him on my podcast and
Oh,
he just
nice.
yeah, he is so committed to doing things the right way and making sure that his products are delicious and ethical, and it's just so meaningful to have a company in the movement that really is living the values of being a vegan company. So I'm really glad that you mentioned Treeline because we would have missed it because yeah, I don't see that they won. Unfortunately, I definitely voted for Treeline because I remember that. Yeah,
I've had the herb spread and it is really, really good. And I'm so glad you shared that because I did not know that about the company. And so that's really great to hear
yeah.
how committed they are to the vegan movement. That's really cool because there's a lot of great brands out there that there's also like other corporate stuff. I know some vegans argue about in Facebook groups.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm just happy that the fact that we even have all these products out
Me
there
too.
in the mainstream, but it's a nice extra bonus when you hear background information like this on a
Yeah.
company. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'll put a link to his episode.
Yeah, definitely. And then also in the video notes, we'll put up any links that we share as well. So this way you can find them.
Yeah, awesome.
So what is next? What about ice cream?
Ooh, ice cream. Oh, before we get to that, so Lindsay, let us know if we've given you any good suggestions so far. Also, going back to what Jen said about she loves Violife cheese, I love Chow cheese, and I get their shreds and their slices, and especially their smoky ones. They're so good, and they
Mm.
melt. And I use them on pizza and in tacos, and it's all just incredible. So let us know if you need more suggestions or if there's anything that you're excited to try. And then
Definitely. And Daya is a good brand. Daya was like my first brand that I liked when I first was vegan.
mhm,
Um, and then I know they've changed the recipe a bit. I did have their new change last year and it was pretty good.
yeah, I think it's better.
Yeah, it definitely has improved a lot. So I just wanted to say if you're someone who's tried Daya and you weren't a fan a few years back, they have improved the recipe like last year. So it's definitely really, I feel like it's a better product for sure.
Mhm, yeah. And Lindsay, yes, I totally agree, but check it out. Um, I get Borson. Am I saying that right? Let me know if I'm butchering. Oh, butchering. Yeah, that's not a vegan word. It's they won the category of best classic gone vegan for their dairy-free gourmet cheese. So how
Nice.
about that? Pretty cool.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go run out and buy
I
some
know,
cream
right?
wine and some crackers, and it's not even 7:30 yet.
Yep.
This is getting me hungry.
Yeah, same. I didn't have breakfast yet, so I am like really like, ah. So tell me about ice cream. What were your thoughts on
So
who won? Ben
yeah,
and
I mean,
Jerry's won, right? Yeah.
so Ben and Jerry's one, and they're pretty good, but I usually get So Delicious. I'm a big
Mm,
fan of So Delicious. They also have really good like ice cream bars that are
yeah.
just like my non-vegan husband loves their ice cream bars. They have this really good, it's like a fudge mocha ice
Mhm.
cream bar with like slivered almonds on it. Like
Yeah.
they're very small. You could easily eat a whole box of this.
Mhm.
But I would say that So Delicious is my favorite. What about you, Kimberly?
I definitely buy Ben and Jerry's more than any of the other brands because that's what my grocery store carries the most options of.
Mhm.
But So Delicious has been a go-to for me for a long time. I love it. They have really great flavors. The texture is great. I love the cashew-based one. I
Mhm.
don't love coconut milk-based things, so I find that coconut milk-based ice creams still taste too coconutty for me to actually enjoy it, so I avoid all of those,
Mhm.
but yeah, I love the cashew-based one. I'm, like, old school with, like, tofutti. I still sometimes will have tofutti because
The
it just
foodie's
brings back
great.
the nostalgia.
Yeah, I love Tofudi.
And Richard's got a suggestion. Jolly Llama is good. Yeah, Richard's a non-vegan and he likes them too.
Wow, I never heard of Jolly Llama.
Yeah, yeah, they're pretty good. They have like the you know the drumstick ice
Mhm.
creams, like the cone and that. They have a vegan version of that.
Oh, Lindsay has a great question. Sorry,
Oh.
I just noticed this. I want to make sure we answer it. In terms of ice cream, specifically when you see dairy free, is it typically vegan or are there other sneaky ingredients? That's a really
It
great
is.
question.
Yes.
One sneaky ingredient I'll mention is honey.
Mhm.
So I went to Hawaii back in February, which I last week just posted the video on the Confident Vegan YouTube channel. So if you want to check that out and see what me and my non-vegan husband ate and did on our vacation, um, you can check that out. But circling back, there was a couple of there was this our last night there. There's this plant-based ice cream. It's called Banan, and it's banana ice cream. But because they consider them plant-based, they do have honey in some of their products.
Mm.
So I just had to make sure that I got one that didn't have like the honey itself didn't the ice cream itself mostly didn't have honey in it, but there was like certain toppings and certain things. So I had to make sure that what I got was honey free. So
Mhm.
I would say honey can be a sneaky ingredient. Sugar could potentially be a sneaky ingredient. What are some things that come to mind, Kimberly, that could be sneaky non-vegan? This is a great question. So
It
thanks for
is.
asking, Lindsay.
Yes. Also whey, it can
Yes.
be in and that is a milk protein, but if you look at, like, very often you'll see, like, dairy-free creamers, and
Hmm.
people are like, "Oh, these must be vegan because 'cause they're dairy-free." They are so not vegan because there's, like, whey and sometimes casein in it, and these are milk
Mm.
proteins that somehow, when they're the only milk ingredient in something, they can still call it dairy-free, so I don't know if it's missing whatever the
Wow.
lactose thing is that, like, makes people who are lactose intolerant, have to, that doesn't bother them then, but yeah, I would say anytime it says dairy-free, definitely flip it over, read the ingredients, and look for things like whey and casein. And also, there's a logo called Certified Vegan, and
Hmm.
it's in a circle. And it's a little heart, and that's kind of looks almost like a V. And it says certified vegan in it. Anytime you see that, you can trust that the product that you've picked up is vegan. So that's a quick way, but definitely read the labels and go through the ingredients and just double check anything that seems weird. look it up or reach out to your favorite vegan and find out if they can help you figure out what's in it. But yeah, I would say dairy free is not good enough to just to assume that it's vegan.
Yeah. Yeah. Great question. Thanks for
Yeah,
asking that,
thank you.
Lindsay. And there's other, can I just do a quick side story about
Yeah,
sneaking non-vegan ingredients?
of course.
I was like vegan for like a few years until I realized Cheerios weren't technically vegan because of
Mm.
vitamin D3. And I was
Huh.
like, oh my God, what?
Uh-oh.
and and that's the thing, like we don't even I have to say being vegan makes you become more conscious about the food you're eating. So
Mhm.
vegan so vitamin D3 comes from lanolin a lot of the time. There are vegan sources for it, but like a lot of companies like General Mills, I think, do like use it. Vitamin D3 comes from like lanolin, which is comes from like sheep's wool, correct,
Mhm.
Kimberly?
Yep.
So it's like basically sheep wool extract, which
Yeah.
is weird because who
Yes.
would have thought there would be that?
I remember when I was first vegetarian, I I never was a big fan of cow's milk anyway. So when I went vegetarian, I stopped using cow milk in like cereal and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
I was exploring all the different milks. And I remember a brand I fell in love with. I think it was called Eighth Continent. And I loved it in everything and I buy it all the time. And then that happened. I realized I didn't know what lanolin was because I was still learning. I'd only been vegetarian for like a couple of months at that point.
Yeah.
And I noticed there was lanolin in it because apparently it makes the texture better. And
Mhm.
once I learned, oh, I was so disappointed. So obviously I stopped buying it. But it was so disappointing to learn that this ingredient was in, and like, why? There's other things you can use to make textures of things nice. But yeah.
Yeah, and it's also in some um margarine. So some margarine, thinking
Oh.
about sneaky ingredients, you could find a margarine that doesn't have like dairy in it, any
Mhm.
blatant animal product in it. But if it says D3 on it, it could potentially be a non-vegan D3 source. So
Right.
just wanted to throw that out there too, because these are things that I was a few years into being vegan that I found out when watching someone on YouTube. And then I was like, what?
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing this because I think sometimes as vegans, because of kind of the criticisms we receive from non-vegans and sometimes even with vegans, other vegans, is that we feel so often like we have to be perfect and we can't admit when we've made a mistake or we thought something was vegan and it turns out it
Yeah.
wasn't. And we feel like we can't tell people that because it makes us less vegan or it makes us a bad vegan and people will not respect us or whatever. But I think that it shows that we're always learning. Look, we live in a non-vegan world, so more
Yeah.
often than not, we're kind of fighting against that, and we have to make sure that we're doing our due diligence, but all the information is not maybe not out there yet, and so or we haven't come across it, so we're learning each time we encounter something new, and then to be able to share that for people who feel like, "Oh, it's too much," or "I can't do it," or they can see that like we're just like real people making a choice that feels like we're doing the right thing for the world, for the animals, for ourselves. And it is doable and it's okay to make mistakes. There's a difference between choosing to consume animals and finding out that a product that you thought was vegan isn't. And then you find that out and then you find a new product. And so I really appreciate you sharing that like we're not perfect all the time and we learn and we grow and we keep moving forward.
Absolutely. And I just want to, and thank you for saying that, Kimberly. And I just want to add to that also going vegan, at least for me and a lot of other people I've spoken to, it's a process. Like it took me 2 years to even fully transition to being vegan. Like I was interested in it. I bought more cookbooks and then once I was vegan, that in itself was a transition. It started with the food, then it went to my clothing and products, then it went to me not cooking it anymore for my family. And it took time to like, so I feel like I just want to, I appreciate you bringing that up and just, yeah, it's a stage. And so wherever you are in it, it's okay.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I feel like vegans do get a bad rep for that, but you know,
Yeah. Cool. So what's
okay.
next? What's the next product
Well, it's
that you
7:30, so I
Oh
think we
my
should do
gosh.
one more
No.
product.
No.
I just looked at the time. I feel like we could go an hour with this.
I know. Do we have to do a part 2?
But we might have to,
We didn't
or
even
maybe
get to our favorite celebrities or cookbooks
I
or
know. I think we're gonna have to do a part 2.
our favorite new marshmallow cream, which was Dandy's, which is so good. I had the
Oh,
chance to
love
try it. I found it
Dandy.
at the store. So, so good.
I just wanna you snuck in Dandies. I just wanna say Unreal chocolates, like Unreal, they're coconut. They taste like,
Oh, yeah, the little
mounds,
squares.
and their peanut butter cups
Mhm.
are my favorite thing.
Yeah. I was disappointed though because I realized some of their products are milk-based,
Yes, so you
and
have
I
to
was
read
like,
their
"Come
labels.
on."
It is disappointing. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they do have really good products. So,
Yeah.
but we want to thank you all for joining us. We would love to hear from you if you're catching the replay. Share with me and Kimberly, what are your favorites? Did you agree with some of the things we shared? Do you have any tips for new vegans out there who are transitioning and have more questions on it? And also, if you have any more questions for me and Kimberly, we'd happy to answer it. So if you just put
Yeah.
it in the comments, we will get to it as soon as we can.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And with that, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, have a great week.
Have a good week, everyone. Bye.
Bye.